I'll be leading you through mobility today. Since you are taking our CubeFit classes, we do have CubeFit Scramble going on. It's 3 weeks. It started last week, so we're on week 2. Each day you will receive a letter at the end of class, and then at the end of the week, we'll post a link in our Slack page, the CubeFit Slack page, and you can unscramble the letters to create a 5-letter word. If you missed last week, you can watch all the recordings for classes on Monday through Friday, and you can still submit that word up until the end of the 3 weeks. So you have a while to submit that. So if you're already taking the classes, you might as well try to win a prize for that. We also have our cooking demo. That is going to be tomorrow. So if you can join in on that midday tomorrow, we can learn about how to make a chickpea salad. And then we also have our 5K and 10K runs coming up. The training plans are going to start September 2nd, so right after Labor Day. And then we'll do an in-person walk or run if you are at a site with the fitness center in October. All right, so let's get going with mobility. Like I said, we're going to be on the floor today, and you only need a mat. And we are going to be doing 6 different moves. So we're going to do all 6 moves in a row, and then we will repeat the 6 moves about 2 or 3 times, depending on how much time we have. So let's start in a tabletop position on your hands and knees, making sure that your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all lined up. You're not leaning too far back or too far forward, so they're in a straight line. And then we're going to do a cat-cow from here. So we're going to arch our spines, gaze forward, bringing our belly button down towards the floor as low as we can, dropping your shoulders so they are not shrugged up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, you're around your spine, pushing your back up as high as you can towards the ceiling, dropping your head in between your shoulders. And then inhale and move back into the arch position. So take your time with it and move with your own breath. Inhale as we're arching and exhale as you round and drop your head in between your shoulders. Good. Nice and slow and controlled. Really focusing on breathing and allowing your body to relax. You notice yourself holding a lot of tension, just try to breathe through it. Relax on the exhale. And let's do one more of each position. Go 2 if you're going a little bit faster than I am. Good. And for our second movement, we're going to go into thread the needle. So for this one, you can either keep your hips up in the air or you can sit back onto your heels. But we're going to open up, bringing your hand up towards the ceiling, and then you'll thread the needle through. So take your hand, threading it through the opposite hand and setting your shoulder down onto the ground. And then opening up. So you want to continue to move through this. So open and then thread the needle. If it feels comfortable for you to hold it in one position for a little bit longer, you can hold it in the open, reach up, rotate towards the ceiling, or you can hold it in that bottom position with your shoulder on the ground, threading the needle. Good. And the reason you sit back onto your heels versus having your hips up in the air is because it's going to force your back to do more of the rotation in that mid back and take away some of the lower back rotation. But if you want to add in a little bit more lower back rotation, you can continue to be in that tabletop position and not sit on your heels. So a couple of different variations you can try and see which one feels better for you. Let's finish out on this one side and we'll switch to the other side after you're done with the current rep that you're on. So you can slowly come up out of that and then either start up in the tabletop position or sitting down onto your heels, whichever one you want to do. You can try them both on each side. I'm gonna go for at least 5 reps over here. Hopefully on our last few reps, you can rotate a little bit farther, either opening up your chest more as you reach up towards the ceiling, or bringing your shoulder down closer to the floor and rotating in towards that arm. Let's do one more on this side. Good. You can slowly come up out of that into that tabletop position again. We're going to go into down dog position. So you tuck your toes underneath, pike your hips up towards the ceiling. And then as we're in this down dog position, I'm going to have you pedal your legs, bending one knee at a time, straightening the opposite leg, pressing your heel down towards the floor. You can focus on one side at a time. If it feels better for you, you can just do two at a time, pressing both heels down towards the floor. I like to focus on one side at a time, just alternating. Good. Let's do at least one more on each side if you're alternating. And then we're going to go into a bear crawl position. So I'm going to have you lower your knees down towards the floor, but instead of setting them back onto the ground, they're going to hover a few inches off the ground. And we're going to hold this here for about 15 seconds. So you should feel some core engagement, making sure that your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are lined up in a straight line up and down. Good. Nice, slow, deep breath. About 5 more seconds. Good. You can lower your knees all the way to the ground. And we're going to go into adductor rocks. So you're going to be in a tabletop position and you're going to have one leg straight out to the side. And then from here, you're going to sit your hips back onto your heel and then shift your weight forward again into that tabletop. So moving in between these two positions, you can hold this position sitting back onto your heel a little bit longer. But try to continuously move through this. You should feel a stretch on your inner thigh, straight from the side as well. Just rocking back and forth. Thinking a little bit deeper each time if you can. And if it feels better for you, you can have your foot come up off the floor. Get farther away so you can see that. So your toe can be facing up towards the ceiling, or you can keep your foot flat on the floor. Whichever one feels better for you. Good. One more on this side, and let's switch to the other side. So slowly transition. Opposite leg out to the side, and then just rock back onto your heel, shifting your weight forwards and backwards. Good. Take your time with it. Move nice and slow and controlled through all of these. I don't want you to rush through. And take a nice deep breath if you start to feel any tension, especially if it feels really tight on that inner thigh. Take a deep breath in this position, holding it back down, or you keep moving. Good. And the last one. We're going to move into a child's pose. So come back into that tabletop position. You can either have your knees out wide or close together. And you're just going to sit back onto your heels, reaching your fingertips forward, letting your chest drop down towards the floor. You can rest your head on the mat. Or if you can't quite get down there, that's fine too. You can just stay on your forearms. And we're going to hold this for at least 30 seconds. So this nice, slow, deep breathing. If you want, you can take your hands and walk them towards the left side of your mat. Hold for about 10 seconds and then walk it towards the right. Or you can just hang out here in the middle. About 10 more seconds, and then we are going to repeat all of these exercises again, starting out with the cat-cow. All right, and when you're ready, slowly come up into the tabletop position and start with the cat-cow again. So we're going to go through all 6 of these. So inhale, arch your back, gaze forward, drop your shoulders so they don't shrug towards your ears. And then exhale and round your back, dropping your head in between your shoulders. And inhale, moving at your own pace between these two positions. Notice as we go through the second time, if these movements feel a little bit easier, you're able to feel a little bit more relaxed, get deeper range of motion, or maybe not. Just kind of notice how your body's feeling. Good. One more of each position, and then we'll move into the thread the needle. Good. And when you're ready, let's slowly transition. Again, you can sit back on your heels for this one or stay in the tabletop. You'll rotate open. And then exhale and thread the needle through, sitting down onto your shoulder. You can move slower or faster than I'm going. Opening up, hold it at the top if you'd like for a few seconds. You could add in wrist circles. And then thread the needle sitting down onto your shoulder. Try to rotate and pull your hand through as much as you can. Pressing your hand away from your body. We're going to go about like 4 to 5 on each side, depending on how quick you're moving. You might be able to do a few more reps. Okay, finish up your last rep on this side, and we'll switch to the opposite side. Transitioning slowly to the other side. Especially as we do these single-sided movements, try to notice if one side feels a little bit tighter, more resistance. Might be able to get more range of motion on one side than the other. Just something to be aware of and noticing how our body moves and feels. So let's do at least one more on this side, and then we'll go into the down dog pedals. All right, slowly transition back into that tabletop position. Tuck your toes underneath, pike your hips up towards the ceiling, pressing into the floor with your hands and pushing your body back. And then either add the pedals by bending one knee at a time, straightening the other, pressing the heel towards the floor, or you can press both heels evenly to the floor. Good, nice, slow, deep breathing as we continue to move. Last few seconds here, we're going to go into that bear crawl hold, so get ready for some core engagement. All right, and let's shift our knees down towards the floor, holding the bear crawl, keeping your knees hovering above the ground. Press your hands into the floor, pushing your body away from the ground. Good, keep your core engaged. And let's hold for 10 more seconds. Nice, slow, deep breath. Almost there. Good. You can drop your knees down to the ground, straighten one leg out to the side, and we're going to go into the adductor rock. So sit your butt back towards your heels and then shift forward. Good. Nice and slow and controlled for these movements. We'll do one more on this side, and then we'll switch to the opposite side. Slow transition. After you finish your last rep, switch to the other side. Good. One more, and then we'll go into the child's pose. All right, so either keeping your knees narrow or going out a little bit more wide. Walk your hands forward and drop your chest down towards the floor. If you catch yourself starting to hold a lot of tension in your body and your shoulders and your back, your hips, anywhere, try to take a deep breath. Focus on that area, releasing the tension as you exhale. Sometimes it can be subconscious that you're holding a lot of tension in. One more nice, slow, deep breath. Then we're going to go through it one more time. All right, come back up into the cat-cow. Arching your spine. You inhale and then round and exhale. Two more cat-cows, trying to get the deepest range of motion that you've had today. So arching your back as much as you can and rounding in that full range of motion. One more of each, and then we'll go into the thread the needle. All right, thread the needle on your starting side. Again, as we do these last few reps in each position, try to get the greatest range of motion that you have had. So opening as we rotate open as much as you can. And then threading the needle as deep as you can on that one as well. We're going to do one or two more, depending on how quick you're going. And then we'll switch to the other side. All right, and let's switch to the other side. Rotating open, then threading the needle and setting it down onto your shoulder. Last one here, and we'll go into the down dog pedals. Good, and then we're gonna go back into the tabletop, tuck your toes, and pike your hips up towards the ceiling, the down dog pedals. Hold it both together as last time, or you can continue to pedal your feet. Nice big deep breath in this position. Good, and on your next exhale, let's drop your knees down into that bear crawl hold position. Good. Last 10 seconds in the bear crawl hold. All right, and drop your knees down. We'll go into the adductor rocks on your starting side. So your leg out to the side, step back onto your heels. Again, as we finish out these last few, try to get as deep as you can into the movement. So setting your hips as far back onto your heel as you can. We'll do about two more on this side and then we'll switch. Go ahead and let's slowly transition to the other side. Getting as deep as you can. Now that your body is a little bit more relaxed, you practice the movements. Good, one more, and then we'll finish out with the child's pose. Let's slowly transition into the child's pose, your knees wide or more narrow, whatever's comfortable for you. Walk your fingertips forward and just drop your chest down towards the floor. Nice, slow, deep breathing, letting your body relax for this last 30 seconds of class. Good. At least 2 more nice, slow, deep breaths in this position. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Before you go, the letter of the day is W. So make sure that you write that down, W. And I will see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Isla.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care, Ella. Bye-bye.
Of course.